So the part of the preparation is to think about how you're going to present and sell yourself and introduce yourself to the customers. Another part is to think and prepare and research how you're going to introduce the customer to your dealership. But another part that we don't think about is a soft foreshadowing about independent vehicle comparisons. Because if you are a client of Advanta-STAR, if you have access to, the most in-depth third-party independent vehicle comparisons, well then there's going to be times during the 10 steps on the road to the sale, the customer journey, where you're going to either want to or need to use them. And at the first step at meet and greet, if you can foreshadow this and build it into their expectations, then it'll be more readily acceptable if and when you do need to use the vehicle comparisons that Advanta-STAR provides to, its clients.
Can you
And
give us an
so
example of how we would do that with him?
you just weave it right into the conversation when you're doing the meet and greet. And along with telling them, we're a President's Choice dealership in the service department. We've been here since 1967. And one little thing we do here to help our customers is we use a third-party research service that pulls in data from trusted sources, things like safety scores, EPA ratings, manufacturer specs. So if you happen to be comparing other vehicles later on, we can
Mhm.
show you some side by sides that might make your decision a little bit easier and more informed.
Yeah, and to that point, in some of the training that I do is, maybe a little more, not quite as subtle as that, is when you, especially if you've had the opportunity to make an appointment for that customer when they're coming in. And, that 'cause if you're prepared, you know what they're looking for in general, and you've got a couple of suggestions that you're going to make. But the idea is to work Advanta-STAR into your road to the sale. And it could be step 3A, 5B, wherever. But understanding that this is information that, when presented, helps you build value wherever you are in that journey. Um, I like the approach that you're bringing in there, just when you're rattling off accolades and testimonials, using the third party in your initial meet and greet. There, it's not getting blindsided when you pull that information out to share with them. A lot of what I would do with that would be, when we get further down the road to the sale, is once we've selected the vehicle and we're doing our walk around. And we pop the hood and we open the doors and we're talking about the performance. And one of the questions that we talked about being afraid to ask is, are you considering something else other than this particular vehicle? I mean, I want to get that objection taken right out of the gate. If I know I'm competing against another vehicle, I want to be prepared so that I've got enough ammunition to say where my virtues and advantages are over that competitor. So if I pop
Right,
the hood and to
exactly.
say, "Hey, I've got the engine is more horsepower and torque than the vehicle you said you were considering," or it's got more space inside according to EPA, and it's got a larger, trunk according to the dimensions that we have side by side through our sources from both OEMs. So introducing it at different points in the journey, I think, is critical. And then, you go through all of the steps. Once you've done a really good walk around, you've done a good feature benefit advantage presentation of the vehicle, you're doing a test drive, you're talking about the same way. You're introducing these advantages while you're out on the road, and you've got them behind the wheel, and you're throwing these things out to them. You're building value so that when you sit down in the dealership and you say, "Is this the vehicle that you want? Is this the one you want to own today?" "Oh no, I'm not sure this is what I want." "Well, tell me why this wouldn't be. What did I miss?" And, well, does it have this? Well, yeah, let me reassure you. It's got some of these things maybe that you didn't think about, or we didn't get the chance to cover. But if there's some objections, if you've got that Advanta-STAR printout on your desk and you've done your recap of all of those things you talked about when you did your walk around, your feature benefit advantage presentation, your demo drive, if you need help, you leave it on the table. Why don't you take a look at the rest of these things? We didn't get a chance to talk. Let me go check with the manager. There may be some special incentives today that we can offer you that I'm not aware of. Give me a few minutes. So what are you
And
doing?
again,
You're keeping them
yeah,
engaged in the
right.
conversation. They're not sitting there saying, gee, honey, you really think we can afford this? Okay. And because there's nothing in there that can hurt you. It's all designed to build value in the product wherever the journey leads you. So when you walk in there, a lot of times, and I think with it, we talked about this on one of our earlier broadcasts. They're sitting there saying, okay, we're sold. Where do we sign? Great. Does it happen every time? We wish. But the more times you bring this in, if it's part of your protocol, if it's part of your journey as a salesperson, it's going to help you more than it won't. That's for sure.
Yep. So just to recap for managers, especially that are watching the podcast, a four-step takeaway for the week: have your salespeople role play the meet and greet, daily if possible. Might as well. It's better than watching weird TikToks all day. Keep it fun, keep it natural with them. Number two, coach the personal introductions. Help every team member own their own story about themselves and what they're going to say about themselves, how they're going to feel about the meet and greet, because they'll have something personal to introduce about themselves to the new customers. Number three, train the staff with dealership highlights. The sales and service managers should collaborate together to put together, you know, a list of bullet points, go-to lines about benefits, legacy, awards, different things that make you an outlier and put you above other local dealerships or even dealerships, further down the road that sell the same make that you do. And again, train them if you're an Advanta-STAR client to introduce the idea of the research tool early so that you're telegraphing to the customer, we're here to help you. Before you leave, I'd like to give you a bunch of third-party information that'll help you make a decision. I'll give you a bunch of information on our car and stuff that'll help you compare them to other vehicles like them. Hopefully the idea being that build enough trust starting early on, they won't leave, or at least they won't leave without one of your cars.
Yeah. Yeah. The whole idea of building value through, the competitive information that we provide. But, we also have the tool through our advanced research, or what we call our super brochure. You've got customers that they've already decided they want that Toyota Camry. It's just whether they're going to buy from you or one of the other 4 or 5 or more retailers in your market. And so that tool evolved because we had a lot of folks that said, man, we love your great information on a competitive basis, but what do we do with the customers that walk in? They're already sold. Well, what you're doing is with the super brochure is you're reinforcing why they came to buy that particular brand. But it also, by providing that resource information, you're building value on why they need to buy from you. Okay. I mean, think about it like this. A customer sends an information request to 5 dealers, and your response is different because you asked the question, are you comparing this to any other vehicles? Okay. If they say yes, you send them a comparison tool, competitive comparison, comparing your vehicle to another one. Or you send the super brochure, which reinforces their decision on its particular brand.
Gives
Which
all the
one of those
benefits.
five, yeah, which one of those 5 dealers you think they're going to show up at? They're coming to you.
Another, yep, another great use for the advanced research is when you're doing your walk around and your demonstration drive. They give you lots of features to touch on, along with the relevant benefit to that customer.
Yeah. The other thing about this super brochure is it's a great training tool. Okay, because I mean, product knowledge. I mean, I'm a products knowledge guy, just like you are, Within. And the more you know, the better you're going to be, and the more repetition you do with it. But if a lot of times in sales meetings, are they talking about product? You want to focus on, again, we're talking about Toyota. So let's say Toyota Camry. Well, these are the new benefits. This is with the new hybrid model that we have for 2025. Here's 10 bullet points on what every customer ought to know about the new 2025 Camry. And you're putting together some of the 2026 information, right?
Yeah, I'm putting together. In fact, they completely redesigned the Hyundai Palisade,
Yeah.
and
And
there's going to be a brand new 2.5 turbo hybrid with over 300 horsepower and great fuel mileage. So,
yeah. And that's the beauty of Advanta-STAR is because you need us every year because the models change. Your models change every year. And if they don't, your competition does. So the advantages you have this model year, you may not have next year carry over. I mean, we've seen that time and time again, right?
yeah, from Dodge being the minivan king to, really Honda and Toyota taking a bit of a lead in those areas.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't see a whole lot of caravans on the road anymore like you used to. Those were the days. And we sold a lot of them.
Oh yeah, back in the day when the guy would come in and ask, "Well, it's the end of the year. How much can I get off of one of these?" And I go, "Well, if we had any from this model year left over, probably a little bit, but since they've been gone for several weeks and we're waiting on next model year, probably none."
Yeah.
Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit the like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below. We'd love to hear from you and it really helps out.